Hi everyone, it's Don and I hope you're having a fantastic day. Well, couple things today. First off, it looks like it's kind of a good news, bad news things for the people stuck on the Diamond Princess. Today we found out that 3 more people were diagnosed on the Diamond Princess. It's stuck in Yokohama Harbor that's been quarantined by the officials there. So that started out with 10 passengers, then 10 more passengers, then 41 more passengers, and now 3 passengers, bringing the total to 64 passengers. Now that sort of brings it comes like a good news, bad news sort of thing, as yes, it's bad. It's good news that it went from 41 the previous day down to only 3 people today. That is good news, because if it would have been 41 or 61 more, people would have just panicked completely, because it would be on that rise that no one wants to see. So now it's at least on its downfall that way. The bad news for the people stuck on board is these were new tested people, not from the previous group that were all tested at the same time, which means that now resets that quarantine to 14 more days from today as opposed to 3 days ago. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit more of an extended time on board. Not the best news, but at least it wasn't a huge jump in how many cases were discovered on board. If you're wondering on board if they're getting out and wandering around the ship, they're asking all passengers to stay in their cabins, and they are rotating decks and areas for people to get up on the top decks and stretch and get some air, especially those who do not have a balcony. So what they would do is they'll take, say, 60 cabins or 30 cabins and say from this cabin to this cabin and put them up on deck for a certain amount of time and then rotate and rotate that way. Trying to keep as many people from possibly coming into contact with other passengers as much as possible, that they can try and contain it if anything does happen in the future. So again, not terrific news, but it could have been worse if you think about what else could have happened. Also out there, the Westerdam is still just floating around now out in the water, not being able to go to the 5 ports in Japan, and we'll still monitor to see what happens with that, because it was supposed to dock in Yokohama Harbor to disembark its passengers for the end of the cruise, and now that's one of the harbors that have said, we don't want you. So we'll have to see where they go from now on. Another big thing in the news yesterday was the Anthem of the Seas had 8 people on board tested, and some of them were brought to hospital. Well, 20-some people tested. 4 of them were brought to the hospital. And right now it's looking like they're fine. We're waiting for more results to come out. The initial assessment is it doesn't look like they have any contagion. It does look like a flu. One of them was diagnosed with influenza. So they're keeping an eye on that, and in this situation, the Anthem of the Seas decided to spend 1 more day in port so far, so it did not leave yesterday. It's scheduled to leave today on its cruise. We'll see what happens. They're waiting for the complete official test results from the Center for Disease Control, the CDC, and make sure everything's good, and then they'll say, they did come out with a statement saying they appreciate the abundance of precaution by the CDC. In other words, they're thinking it's a little overzealous, but in this case, I think you'll agree that most people out there would prefer overzealous to not paying enough attention to it. Overzealous might keep the Diamond Princess from happening again, or the Westerdam from happening again. So good on the CDC for doing this. I'm glad Royal Caribbean did not sail yesterday, even though they did have permission to do so. They decided, just in case, let's wait for the official results. And so we'll find out later on today. I'm recording this at like 10 a.m. this morning. So far, they're still in port off the coast of New Jersey there. near New York, and so they haven't left yet. Let's hope they can get on their vacation and everything's fine later on today, that those cases there's no traces. That would be the best news. Fingers crossed. So, one last thing is Royal Caribbean is one of the 2 cruise lines out there now who have officially banned anybody from traveling who have passports from Hong Kong, China, or Macau. And so they are completely banning, just if you have the passport, you can't get on. Also, crew members are not allowed to have been there. You cannot have been in contact with anybody who has been there in the last 15 days. So if you're a family member and they trace back the passports of your family members and your family members have been there, you won't even be able to get on the ship neither. They've really locked in and gotten more stringent controls. So this, let me answer this. I'm kind of glad that's a good thing. I think all cruise lines should be doing that right now. And one thing that I'm getting constant emails from, a lot of people are very concerned, saying, should I cancel my cruise? I'm a little worried about going on my Caribbean cruise or my Hawaiian cruise. I'm very nervous of going there. Let's just state that so far there have been absolutely no cases here in North America on a cruise ship of anybody coming down with this disease. The longer this goes on with the new regulations and the new enforcements that have been implemented since February 1st, the better off we will be, the less chance of anything ever happening are. So no, I would not be canceling my cruise right now. In fact, I've been looking the last couple of days to book my next cruises. I'm kind of getting stir crazy here in Ottawa with the snow everywhere and the winter storms that we've been having lately. I'm ready to hit some sunshine someplace. So I've been looking to cruise as opposed to canceling cruises. So that's just my opinion. Take that as information, not as a rule. If you're really scared about it and you're not going to lose money about it with it, and then maybe you shouldn't go cruises if you're going to be worried the entire time you're on a cruise ship. But if you're asking me, would I cancel my cruises? I haven't canceled a single cruise. I just paid off another cruise yesterday and I'm looking to book a cruise for, I'm thinking end of March, beginning of April is when I want to go. Give me enough time to settle everybody on our group cruise and then head out and enjoy some time and relaxation just as the weather's changing here in North America from winter to spring. So I'm looking forward to that. So no, if you're asking me personally, I would not be canceling my cruises. I'm not doing it. I'm sailing more. So, and you know what? You can find some half decent prices out there right now compared to what you could 3 weeks ago. So if you're not that nervous, might be a great time to pick up a really good deal. I just wouldn't be sailing to China and Japan anytime in the next couple weeks. Give that a time to cool down. Caribbean, Alaska, Hawaii, Australia, I wouldn't be too concerned about it right now unless things change in the future. But that again is just my opinion. That's what I'm doing. And I just love cruises, so you know I'm kind of partial for that. So just take that with a grain of salt. I'm not canceling, I'm rebooking. So let's see what happens with the cruise ship in New Jersey. Let's see what happens on the Diamond Princess, the Westerdam, and all those other ships that are circling about. And hopefully we can get everybody off those ships and home, and cruising can get back to normal, and we can get back to normal for travel everywhere in the world. It's been a crazy month, and let's just hope it starts on the downfall now. Well, I hope you appreciate this update. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Want to see more tips, more tricks, more travel vlogs from around the world? Hit that subscribe button. Till next time, have yourself a safe and a great vacation.